Okay, I'm ready to do a continuous line gesture. This is going to be blind in that I will look only at the computer screen and not at my paper. You'll just have to trust me here. I can draw on the full sheet of paper if I want and work big, which feels really good sometimes for some gestures. For these, they don't necessarily have to be as big, and depending on the size of your working space, you may more often turn your drawing board this way, and then you can do a couple, or for that matter, you could probably do a number of small ones. But I think a medium size would be good for this. I said we could work in charcoal. This is a soft charcoal pencil that has. I used the razor blade to remove the wood carefully away from the lead, and then sometimes I'll use the sandpaper to get a fine tip. I don't have much of a tip there, and I have my phone here with the timer because I'm going to time myself drawing from the pictures I have set up on my computer screen, and I'm just going to move something out of the way so I can see my computer screen, see what the model on there, and I'm about arm's length. I'm about arm's length away from my computer screen. Now you can see there's the poses up on the computer screen, and I'm a little more than arm's length away. I think that'll work pretty good. And I just kind of want to show you how to do one of these drawings. They seem like nonsensical scribbles to do these, but they're super good practice. They help connect your eye in your hand. I could use my ebony pencil too if I wanted. Either one's fine. Something that's soft. The ebony pencil actually glides a little bit better. Graphite kind of has a lot of flow. Maybe I'll try the ebony pencil this time. Just want to loosen up. You notice I kind of hold my pencil like this rather than the typical sort of handwriting method. This gives me a little more wrist control, not wrist control, kind of wrist freedom, which is a great thing, especially in something like this where we have we don't really care about control too much, and we don't really care how anything's going to look. We want to see if we can respond. In the pose that I'm looking at is the one on the right there. The model's sort of has a ball and is bending over to the right, and see if I can keep all of this together here. And I'm going to move my head a little bit forward and my drawing board back because I don't really want to tempt myself to look down at the paper. I'm just going to hit the timer here for start, and in 15 seconds, and I'm with a continuous line, I'm just going to move my pencil to kind of follow my eye as wherever my eye moves along this pose, and especially when you're not warmed up, and even when you're warmed up, these look like a pile of black string thrown onto a piece of paper. They don't look like much, but that's not the point. They're a really good exercise to get into the flow and start responding and feeling some of these curves, because in our own body we can feel that twist and that stretch here, the stretch on one side of the pose. So I'm gonna hit the start and just go for it here. And gesture is fast and kind of furious. That's why that's actually a good thing. It doesn't give you time to think about anything. So there is, I have plenty of time left here. I used about 10 seconds of my time. and I'm going to hit cancel on that. And so there's my first line gesture of that pose. And as you can see, and I, like I said, I don't really can't show you too well. Oh, how can I show you the? Yeah, I'm obviously got my technically challenged here, but I will try to show you so you can, at a very bad angle, see that pose on the right of the model, and you can see my line drawing. It's like, oh, well, why did I bother with that? But you know, that was my first kind of like getting a feel for the pose, and you know, starting to just internalize and connect my sense of arm movement to what I see. And this is so good, such a good practice to do. So we do, you know, a number of these. There could be 10, 15, 20-second continuous line, not looking down at the paper, and clearly I caught something of the bend of that pose, the stretch in this part of the torso, on the other side, you know, the crunching up there of that side, and you know, just the bigger movements. Now, there's artists who very lightly put a few of these kind of big lines down before they begin drawing more carefully on top of it. That's using a gesture as a way to begin a pose, something to build your drawing upon.